welcome back
to the podcast, cast. To the podcast, cast.
We're going EDM.
Oh my gosh, hilarious. So, in today's episode, we want to try to have a more serious conversation because the last one was like really silly, really goofy. You know, it was very foolish, talking about, you know, Christian Rock and Blueface, and they're still a mess.
To this day,
they're still a mess. If y'all keep up with them, if y'all watch them or whatever, you know, y'all pay attention to them, y'all know what be going on. And yeah, if that can't be fixed, it's not gonna get healed anytime soon. So we're just gonna, you know, step that to the side, and instead we're gonna focus today on, you know, protecting your peace, because I feel like that's a very important topic of conversation to have. Because I feel like, you know, a lot of people, I feel like we think that we're protecting our peace. You know, we think that we doing things smooth around here, and like we can handle it all and we can hold it down. But in actuality, I feel like a lot of us don't actually have boundaries with people around us. You know, we just kind of let them into our lives and let them say things when they want to say things and do things when they want to do things. And you know, we kind of just let ourselves fall to the wayside a little bit. You know, I'll hear people say, you know, oh, I take care of myself. No, I'm here for myself. Da da da. And you know, that's not actually what it is.
And they haven't showered for 4 days.
Like, you know, you haven't actually gotten 8 hours of sleep. You just got 3 hours of sleep. You know, so it's like, okay, you saying that you take care of yourself, but do you really take care of yourself? So that's the conversation, you know, that we want to have today. So that's what we're gonna talk about. And yeah, Evelyn, you can start us off.
Okay.
I think you're the perfect person to, you know, get this thing started off.
All right. I think we should start it off by just kind of well, not necessarily defining, but just talk about what we think peace means for us.
Okay.
And if that means, you know, incorporating certain boundaries or not. I would say for me, peace internally, I think, comes first before anything else, because I feel like you are the one that knows your limits. You're the person that knows what you can take on a day-to-day basis. You can control what you're inviting, what energy you're inviting in your space, the people you are letting in your space. So I feel like internal peace with yourself, you'll be able to control sort of those outside factors. So to me, that's what peace looks like. And then peace can also involve having peace at work, having peace at school, and other settings outside of, you know, relationships. So I think that's what kind of peace means for me.
I mean, I would say peace for me kind of, you know, means the same things, like not allowing people, I would say, to control the way that I live my life. You know, not allowing their actions, you know, their words, whatever they have going on in their life to control, you know, the reactions and the decisions that I make. Because I think a lot of times you can try to revolve your life around other people, sometimes even not knowing it. You know, in some ways it's okay to do that, you know, because you will have to compromise and, you know, change up your schedule and change up certain things. But you never want to get to a point or place in your life where you completely lost yourself and you don't even know who you are anymore because you've morphed into somebody else that the world wanted you to be, or that your friends wanted you to be, or that your family wanted you to be. So you don't even know who you are. And that's not a good space to be in, because if you don't know who you are, then nobody else actually knows who you are. You're just showing up as a representative rather than the real version of yourself. So, yeah, I would say that, you know, protecting your peace means staying true to yourself, you know, being who you are at all times, even if that may, like, hurt other people in a way, because they're not comfortable with that. Just always stay true to you, set those boundaries, you know, how to say no to people, because like I said, those things will hurt them when you say no to them, but you have to be, you kind of have to be okay being in a space, in, you know, being in a tough situation where that person may get mad at you now, or that person may low-key like hate you, or you know, be angry, or may not talk to you for 2 weeks, or you know, whatever the backlash of that may be. You have to sit in that and be confident that, you know, I may have made that person upset, but I'm at peace and I'm happy ultimately with the decision, because I'm a grown person and I can make those decisions for myself for what I want to do with my life. At the end of the day, you already get to live your life and you get to make decisions for you, and I have to make decisions for me. So that's how I kind of feel about that. But kind of on this topic, but before we really get into stuff, I would say, how would you rate yourself like right now, or I guess on a scale from 1 to 10, like 1 being that you just kind of completely people please and you let people run over you and like do whatever, you know, they tell you to do, you know, because you're kind of just mushy gushy and you fall for them that way, and like 10 being completely like, no, I kind of do me, and I, you know, I do what's right for me, and I just do me, and whatever happens with other people, that's on them.
I feel like, so in the space I am now, people may not believe me, but I'm actually better than how I used to be. I had a very hard time with saying no. I was a yes person for a very, very long time. And I think some part of me is still that way. And I think there is a healthy way of always being a yes person and a non-healthy way. Because you don't always want to be that no person. And now you're seen as a negative person all the time. So I think there is nothing wrong with, I don't want to say people pleasing, but knowing when to say no and when to say yes. Because compromising to me involves some sort of people pleasing. Not to the, you know, degree that is detrimental to yourself. But there is a level of people pleasing that comes with compromising. And I am a person that will compromise before anything else. I do not like confrontation. I do not like unnecessary, you know, sort of like drama surrounding certain issues. Because I feel like a simple yes can prevent an issue from coming up. You know what I mean? A simple conversation can prevent something from coming up. So I will say my people pleasing level, you mean like out of 10?
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
That was the question.
I went off on a tangent, but it made sense. It made sense. But I'm gonna give myself, not me trying to make excuses for being a people pleaser, but it was all facts. I'm serious.
Oh my god.
I would give myself 10 being extreme and 1 being non-extreme.
Well, 1 is being very extreme people pleaser.
10 is not.
And 10 is like, I'm completely not people pleasing. I am just here for myself. Take care of myself.
I would say I'm about a 5, maybe. A 4. I would say maybe a 4. A 4.5, 5.
You're more on the people pleasing
depending
side.
on the day. But I think it's for certain people. I'm not always a people pleaser, but sometimes it's intensified based on the person, the relationship, and the situation. I will say. But 9 times out of 10, it's a 4 or 5.
Okay. It's a 4 or 5.
It's a 4 or 5. What about you?
I would say like I'm a 7. Because I think I am more on the end of just kind of like doing me. Especially now, like the older that I am, it's way easier for me to cut people off. Like whether it be family, friends, whoever. Like I've done that and I did it and I got over it and I'm still here. Like, you know, I used to think those things would be the end of the world, but it's like I'm still alive. I've literally stopped talking to family. I've stopped talking to certain friends. I've stopped talking to, you know, just certain people that I don't want to be in drama with. Because, you know, sometimes I don't want to keep going back and forth with you. Like, I don't want to I don't want to live that life.
Mm-mm.
I want to have peace. So it's way easier for me now to just cut off certain people. Not even in a way of like, I hate you. Because I don't. Like, I will still love you. You know, God is love. I love you. But I will love you from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to learn that with time. That it was okay for me to love people from a distance. Because a lot of times those people would try to, like, gaslight me. And try to make me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
For the fact that I don't want to be around, like, their negative energy. Or, like, the way that they may be using me. Or the way that they, you know, may put themselves higher than me. And me just feeling like it was unfair that, okay, you put yourself above me, but I'm not allowed to, you know, put myself above you at any moment. You know, it's just like those little tactics that people will use to try to gaslight you and, you know, make you feel bad for caring about yourself every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
When you literally care about them the other 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, those type of behaviors just weren't okay to me anymore. And because those behaviors weren't okay to me anymore, I had to stop talking to people. And, you know, sometimes it can feel hurtful, you know, because you're like, oh, I wish I could, you know, still talk to that person. I wish I could still reach out to that person or whatever. But then when you sit there and you think about it, and you think about, you know, how much you don't have to give so much every day.
Mm-hmm.
How much you don't have to run your brain crazy and feel tired and sick over caring so much about someone else more than they care about you. Like, that's actually draining. It's very emotionally draining for me. Because I'm not just a sympathetic person, I'm an empathetic person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people don't get that because just like if you see me from the outside, you probably don't think that I really care that much. Like you probably, you know, think like, oh, Paiton really don't have like feelings like that.
Mm-mm.
Just from like an outside perspective. I feel like that's how people view it. When it's actually the very much opposite. I have way too many feelings. And because I know myself enough to know that I have way too many feelings, I will cut you off if I feel like it's an unfair relationship. Like, whether that be friendship, family, whatever. I'm going to cut it off if I feel that it's unfair. Because it's not fair to me to care so much when you care so little.
Mm.
Like, there's no balance there.
Yeah.
But I had to learn that. And it took a long time for me to learn that. Because, like I said, people used to gaslight me, you know, say, oh, well, you know, you don't do this and you should do that. And how come you gonna tell me no? I can't believe you just told me no. You're a terrible person. You're a terrible friend. And it's like, I know I'm not those things, but, you know, when people would say that, it would make me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, man, am I, like, terrible? Am I a mean person? And it's those things that get inside your psyche that are not true.
Mm-hmm.
Because those people are trying to make you feel bad because they feel guilty that they want to keep using you. Mm-hmm. And sucking all the energy out of you. And it's like, no, I'm not going to continue to allow you to make me feel bad for once caring about myself and not allowing you to suck all the life out of me. So I just had to get to that point. And that's why I say I'm like a 7 because I'm more of the side of like caring about myself now.
Mm-hmm.
But I still do care about people, so that's why it's not like an extreme 10 because I do care about people. Like, I still have that caring side in me. But I've just, you know, through life coaching and, you know, talking to counselors and other stuff like that, they really taught me boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still working on how to set boundaries for certain people that I really, really care about and certain people that are, you know, in situations where I may feel a bit more empathy for. Because sometimes those people will tug on your heartstrings way more.
Mm-hmm.
But for, like, more surface level stuff, I'm really, like, easy to just let it go if it's not, you know, if it's not a relationship that's serving me or helping me grow. So, yeah. That's my long answer. That's my long answer.
So we both had long answers.
That's my long answer to the question. But, yeah, I'm a 7. Evelyn's like a 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I'm like a 7.
On a bad day, I'm a 3.
So, on a bad day, I'm a 3.
On a bad day, I'm a 3.
It's okay. No. Okay, we're still here though.
And I also think
yeah.
Protecting your peace and protecting your energy kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And I say that because yes, you can protect your peace, you know what I'm saying, for certain scenarios. Mm-hmm. But for me, the reason why I choose to protect my peace in certain situations is based off the energy I'm gonna allow somebody to let me, you know what I'm saying, give to them.
Right.
So I think that's why I think it depends on the situation for me.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm a people pleaser,
Mm-hmm.
but for certain situations,
yeah,
I do not allow people to, you know, allow me to exert my energy to a certain level. And I think for me, I think on like extreme scenarios, and I think that's why I'll be considered a people pleaser for certain situations, because for me to say no to somebody, it has to be on an extreme level for me to say no. So like if for like a harmful situation, obviously I can say no to that, because I'm not going to let nobody hurt me. You know what I'm saying? In certain ways. So for me, I think of it like in the most extreme level for the reason why I would say no. Because I feel like if it's not to that level, certain people don't deserve my energy for certain situations. So I'm just going to stay silent. It may look like I'm people pleasing, but you internally are probably going through a battle in your head over the problem. But for me, I'm at peace over the situation. I haven't shown, you know what I'm saying, as much energy as you wanted me to for that situation. So to you, it looks like I'm letting you walk over me. But I'm at peace with the situation. You the one that's sick in your head over it. I'm not. So I think it's certain scenarios that also come to play with that. So for me, I always think of like the most extreme level, and I think that also comes from like your stance, like being an empathetic person, because I always try to look at the other person's perspective and why they do things and what may be going on in their life for them to say or do certain things. So let me try to have a little bit of patience, you know, sometimes with that person or their situation, and that kind of gauges when and where I do certain things.
Love you, and we'll hear from y'all soon.
Bye. See you soon.